we are. That's what I like, a bilingual audience. Thank you, Mike, and thank all of you for inviting me to be with you today. I want to talk to you a little bit about what's happening in the immigrant community. We are under attack more than at any other time that I can remember in this country. The Republican Party appears to have declared war on Latinos and immigrants throughout this country. And Arizona is at the center of these attacks. Mike mentioned SB 1070, that criminalizes physical presence in the state of Arizona if you're undocumented, that legalizes racial profiling and makes illegal the Good Samaritan. Because under this law, helping anybody, regardless of circumstances, that is undocumented in the state of Arizona is a crime. And in the state of Arizona, Senator Russell Pierce, who introduced SB 1070, his next project is saying to deny citizenship to any child born in this country, to a visitor or to an undocumented worker, regardless of what the United States Constitution says. And we've got gubernatorial candidate Dean Martin, who says that what they need to do is round up every undocumented worker and put him in 10 cities in the desert. And you've been here in Las Vegas, and you know what kind of weather you're going to have during the summer. And then you've got an corporations commission candidate, Mr. Wong, who says that anybody suspected of being an undocumented immigrant should have their facilities, their utilities cut off. And it doesn't matter what happens to those families, whether somebody's sick, that they should just cut their utilities off because they think they're undocumented workers. They banned ethnic studies because they think that somehow that creates divisions in our country. They said that if you have an accent, you are not qualified to teach in the state of Arizona. And it gets worse from that. In New Mexico, a Republican congressional candidate has proposed that the way to stop people from coming to this country is by putting landmines in the desert so that they are blown up when they try to cross. Brothers and sisters, what's happening now is that illegal immigrants has become the code word for Latinos. What we have and what we're faced right now is not a public policy debate. What we're faced with right now is an ideological and political battle. And if we are going to be able to win that battle, we're going to need to make sure that there's the greatest degree of unity possible, not only among our community, but with people who share our values and our vision of what America should be. So what we are trying to do in SEAU is that we are working with our allies and our partners throughout this country, and we're saying we need to make sure that immigrants and Latinos get organized and are able to advocate strongly for themselves and for their interests. Because if we don't, things are only going to get worse. And the only way we're going to win is if we build our power. And our power is by our votes. We have to show these politicians that if they think that immigrant bashing is the way to political power, we have to show them that immigrant bashing is the path to permanent minority party status. Immigrants and Latinos are the fastest growing sector of the population. If we are to win, we need to harness that power and the power of our votes. And we are working to inform, energize, and to turn out immigrant voters in November. But more importantly, we are working to make sure that we create a long-term movement for change in this country. We are enough that we can decide who's going to win in November in Florida, in Ohio, in New York, in Illinois, in Arizona, Nevada. We can be the difference. But that only will happen if we turn out in November. See? So our message is very simple. We all know and we have heard how everybody is so disappointed in the elections, that we have not gotten the change that we wanted. But brothers and sisters, change is hard. Change takes organizing. Change takes work. And we have to work and fight for the change that we believe in. And so we are saying to the community, you know what? This election is critical to you and the future of your family. This election is not about candidates. It is about our future. It is about our children. It is about our family. And if we don't turn out to vote in November, we are going to validate the assumptions of the Republicans who believe that they can win by demonizing us, by attacking us and driving us further into the shadows of society. And we will validate the assumptions of way too many Democrats that think that the way to win is to be timid, to be afraid, and not stand up for anything. And in that scenario, brothers and sisters, we all lose. We are in the fight of our lives in the immigrant community. And if we're going to win, we're all going to need to contribute our little grain of sand in that struggle. You know, we are all prepared to fight, and we are going to do that. But to win, it will take more than just us. I read the blogs that many of you write. I know that you have a tremendous power to help educate, agitate, and empower people. To tell them, to convince them, to encourage them, to act in their own interests. This is a battle that those of us in the immigrant and Latino community are looking to you to join us. If we are going to win, it's going to take all of us working together. As brothers and sisters, one of the things that I'm convinced is that the price of doing nothing is not always nothing. The price of doing nothing sometimes means that there will be more exploitation. The price of doing nothing means that there will be more discrimination. The price of doing nothing will be more violations of civil and human rights in our country. The price of doing nothing will be more people dying in the border every year. And right now, 600 people die every year trying to come to the United States to build a better life for themselves. The price of doing nothing is going to mean more raids in our communities. It's going to mean more kids who are going to see their dreams destroyed. The price of doing nothing will be more families that will be split up when their parents get arrested and deported, creating a choice whether they leave their children behind or they go home to a country that they've never been in and perhaps a language that they don't speak. So brothers and sisters, I'm convinced that sometimes the price is too high and that we cannot afford to continue paying for that price. It's not going to be an easy fight. It's a very difficult fight, but I believe that we can win if we are all willing to work together. Mike said something that rang really true to me. That if we all work together, we can make sure that when we say that this is a country with justice and liberty for all, that it ought to be a reality and not a slogan. Thank you very much.